The wheels of justice are at a virtual halt in the era of COVID-19. Since March, all jury trials and most courthouse operations have been suspended. The local court system worked to adapt with remote hearings and plexiglass in the courtroom. And after months of trying to get back on track, local courts instead find themselves back where they started. On Your Side's Ann Schindler reports tonight.
First, the caseload. There are over 4,000 pending felony cases in Duval County right now, compared to less than 3,000 at this time last year. Criminal cases piling up, even as the state attorney's office continues to settle, resolve, and otherwise dispose of pending cases. So, the jail population is also rising. In June, after 3 months of efforts to release nonviolent inmates, the jail held 2,172. Today, the number is 2,591, up 20%. COVID infections are down, just 122 jail inmates positive compared to 451 in August. But attorneys for at least 2 inmates tell First Coast News their clients died of COVID. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office confirms 2 recent deaths, but not the cause. 343 jail employees have tested positive for COVID since March, and some 20 bailiffs at the Duval County Courthouse have been sidelined, despite the fact the city has spent $150,000 on safety measures there. The courthouse did manage to seat 1 grand jury and held 2 criminal trials with out-of-custody defendants. But 3 other trials fell apart after both a defendant and a juror showed symptoms. In the past 2 weeks, the court has moved from being on the verge of a Phase 3, almost normal functioning, to what is essentially Phase 1 all over again. Nobody in the courthouse without express permission. Perhaps the most stunning number, of the 400 summons mailed out as Clay County tried to seat a grand jury this week, only 14 people showed up. Officials there now trying to determine how to start over from square one. Ann Schindler, First Coast News, on your side.